Okay, in this video, I'm going to take a look at a niche that I think is better than the coloring book niche. Now, by better, I don't necessarily mean that there's more money going through Amazon to this niche than the coloring book niche. However, what I mean by better is that I think you have a better chance at making much more sales in this niche than you do with coloring books. So I think if you're trying to get organic sales from Amazon, so if you're trying to get sales without running any type of ad to your book, then you're going to have a real hard time doing that with coloring in books, just because of the pure amount of competition here. So if we go ahead and just type in coloring book into the search here, we can see that there are over 60,000 search results on Amazon just for coloring books alone. Now, if you're not willing to invest ads into this, into coloring books, then you need to have something with much less competition to stand out and actually make you sales. And I'm going to show you very, very shortly what this niche is. It's a very similar niche, but it's much better for you if you're not spending money on ads at the moment. So I think the problem with doing niche research for coloring books is that we got to the point now where people say, well, you can do unicorn coloring books, you can do Valentine's Day coloring books, you can do Easter coloring books, and what they do is they come across to the rankings of some of these crazy selling books like this one here. They'll take this here, the 238 ranking here, they'll take that, they'll copy it, and they'll take it over to a sales calculator, and they'll plug these numbers into the sales calculator, and they'll be like, oh my god, this person's making nearly 6,000 sales a month with this coloring book here. So if you do unicorn coloring books, you're going to make this type of money, you're going to make these type of sales. It's such a huge niche. But the reality is that everyone's done that now. They've all looked at coloring books, unicorn coloring books. I'm not saying that you can't fit in, but what I am saying is if you want to get organic traffic without sending ads to your book, then you're probably not going to fit in. Okay, so what we need to do is to dig a little bit deeper than just coloring books. And again, I'm not saying you can't make money with coloring books. Maybe you are, and that's great, but there are other opportunities out there for people that don't want to spend money on ads and just want to stand out in the organic side of Amazon. So the niche that we're going for here is dot markers. Okay, so dot markers activity books. And as you can see here, drastically down from 60,000 to 1,000 results here with these dot markers activity books. Okay, so let's go ahead and look through some of the ones that aren't sponsored listings and just take a look at where the rankings are with these. Okay, so already right off the bat here we can see some really good selling books here, like 3,000, 5,000, 9,000. Ignore this one, actually, that's in toys and games. 11,000 in books, 9,000 in books. And we keep going down. We have a unicorn one here, 69,000 in books. You see what I'm getting at? This is crazy. 13,000, 28,000, 31,000. Now, this is so huge because you can take all the things that you've considered doing with coloring books and put that into the dot markers coloring book instead. So, for example, you can target the Easter niche with dot markers. You can target the Valentine's Day. You can target Christmas. You can target every kind of event that there is, but do it dot markers instead of just coloring pages. Okay, so we can see that the competition for this type of book is low and the sales are very high for this at the moment. So the next step here is that we need to actually have this made. And now, when it comes to making these type of books, you need to first find out what kind of marker size. So if you're not quite sure what these dot markers are, so they're basically just coloring pages, but they have an outline. They have this circular outline across each picture here, and what that is, that it's for a specific type of marker pen that children can use to just sort of thump onto the circles here until they color in the dinosaur or whatever they're coloring in. So these are very simple designs, and you can have these made for super cheap on Upwork.com. Now, I'm completely against, I'm not 100% sure why, but I'm completely against just finding images from, I think a lot of people, this is great and all, but they show you how to take an image and sort of hollow it out and make it lined, and then you can go from there and use that in your coloring pages, or people even take it from these like royalty-free websites and things like that. Like I'm completely against that, because I feel like it doesn't make my book unique if I do that, is what I'm saying. So what I like to do, and for any any content that I can't do myself, I will outsource to someone who does a unique version of it. And in fact, I've not even uploaded it yet, but I have had a dot marker book made, and they went ahead and they did all the designs and they did the circles inside them as well to the size that I wanted. And you know, the whole book for I think around 20 to 30 pages, 20 to 30 designs, it was around $20 to $30 I got this book made for. So by the time that you sort of faffed around and fiddled with trying to work out how to, you know, get all these different images in the same niche from these websites, and you're going to end up having a book that looks kind of tacky if you keep doing that. But if you have one person that makes this book for you and they do all the designs themselves, then it's going to have this flow, it's going to have this consistent theme to it, and it's going to look much higher quality. Okay, so just a really quick example, you can do this in Canva. Like if you don't want to have a person, if you can only hire someone that can do the outline for a design for you, then you can do the rest in Canva yourself. So I'll just take an example here of this unicorn drawing here, and what you can do is you can just come across to elements, then type in circle, click the circle, change it to the black color, and then you can put the circles in yourself where you want them. Okay, and if you need to, you want to make sure they're the same size, obviously, so you can Control C, Control V, copy and paste until, yeah, this is just a very, very quick example. Okay, so there's a really cool niche. If you think this has helped you, then go ahead and like this video. And again, I'm not trying to put a downer on anyone that wants to produce coloring books, because they're a very strong niche, but everything in my channel that I want to do, I want to make sure that people with a very low budget can start making sales. And you know, to start making sales, you can't enter in such a competitive niche and expect to make good money. So you need to really stand out with this niche market, and dot marker activity books are a great way to start.